and welcome back to Weeby Kids Yoga. I'm Annie and I'm going to be leading your session today. If this is your first time with us, please be sure to check out our introduction to Yoga with Weeby Kids so that you know what it's all about. And if not, welcome back. Make sure that you have some space to be moving around in, clothes on that you are happy to move about in, and as ever, we only have one ask here, that you are kind to yourself throughout this session. I'm not there in your room, only you can know how you are feeling today. Yoga should never hurt. Please only do things that are going to feel comfortable for you throughout. Now today we are going to be looking at that beautiful bird, the crow, and crow posture. We begin our session today, as we always do, in a comfortable seated position, with our hands in prayer position and Jali Mudra next to the heart, with our spines nice and straight. We begin with a greeting, Namaste, which is a greeting from my heart to your hearts all the way around the world, and from your hearts all the way around the world, back to mine. Sitting tall and straight, after 3, 1, 2, 3, Namaste. We're going to begin with a little bit of a warm up. So we're going to start by wriggling our fingers, wriggling them as fast as we can. Maybe those are going to become our talons as we consider our crow. We're then going to start moving our wrists. And while we're moving our wrists, we're just going to go up and down on our feet so that we are moving up onto the balls of the feet one by one. Then we are going to start by moving the elbows. And we're just going to roll over on those toes now. That's it. So you're moving onto the fronts of the feet, turning the arms in the other direction. Okay, that's it. Wonderful. And now you're just going to start rolling those shoulders round and back. And as you do so, you're going to pick up one foot and start rotating that ankle as well. And then we're going to do the other side, but this time we're going to start rolling the shoulders forward. And we're going to start rotating that ankle. That's it, on the other side. Lovely. And we're just going to now shake out those shoulders and drop those arms, wiggle. And then we're just going to take our hands to our knees. And we're just going to rotate those knees round in one direction in a circle. And we're going to go back in the other direction, circling them again. And now we're going to move up the body, and we're just going to start swaying those hips. You can still be moving the knees, so you can bend one knee then the other as you move from side to side. And then you're going to move them back around in the other direction, moving the spine. And as you can see, my whole body is moving. I'm just warming up all those joints, moving it to a smaller hip circle. That's it, another way. And try now and imagine you are lifting up and out of your hips. Up and out. Straightening up through the spine. You're just going to gently tip your head to one side. And then tip your head to the other side. Rolling the head forward. And then up to the other side. Rolling the head forwards. And up on the side. Lifting the head back to its central position. Gently tip the neck back so your eyes look up to the ceiling if that's comfortable. And down. And head back up to the ceiling. And down. And we're going to do a little bit of marching. Marching on the spot. That's it. Cross-armed. So in a second, we're going to be touching our toes. Reach, touch your toe, opposite arm to leg. That's the one. I'll do this to the side. You can see what I'm doing there. Yeah, try and keep those legs straight, but if they are bent, in order to be able to reach your toes, that's okay too. Lovely. That's the one. And now we're going to do elbow to knee. And the side, there you can see what I'm doing. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And this is just going to help wake up our brain so that we are ready for all those wonderful movements that we're going to be doing. And this should be warming up the body. Stretch one arm, one leg, same side. See how we're swapping between them. Same sides, opposite sides. Opposite sides, opposite arm to leg. Has that confused you? And try again, same side. That's it, lovely. And again, opposite sides. That's the one. And shaking out the whole body. Wonderful, well done. We're going to begin thinking now about our feet. And we're just going to stretch out those toes and see if we can separate them nice and wide, like some wide talons, clinging on to a beautiful rock face beneath us. Stretching out those toes, bending those knees, bouncing for a second, rolling our shoulders back, imagining our shoulder blades flattening straight down our spine, releasing those arms down, lifting up through the head. Beautiful, you're now standing at the top of a mountain. Imagine you have a beautiful view. Take your body round as you take in that wonderful view. Taking up the other arm above the eyes, and again, taking in that beautiful view. Birds often get that bird's eye view, that beautiful view of a landscape that sometimes escapes us because they have that ability to climb high by flying. Coming down onto your knees, kneeling nice and tall and high. You're going to sweep your arms up, touching at the top and bringing them down. Your arms are going to act as your wings as you reach up, as though you're flying up towards the sun and down. And this time as you go up, you're going to gently lean yourself back, tip yourself back a little bit, leaning in the back of the spine there. I turn to the side so you can see I'm just reaching up. And as I lift, I'm just gently reaching back and up and down. And one more. Up we go, leaning up and back. That's wonderful. And coming back round. We're going to do it one last time, reaching up with our beautiful feathers, and this time slowly bringing them back down to the sides. We are going to soar. And as we are going to soar, we're going to gently fold ourselves down and forwards, holding our arms out to the side, and bring our foreheads down to the ground. We're going to tip ourselves, soaring across the fields, soaring across the fields, and lowering our heads, this time down to the ground, and closing our wings behind us for a moment. And as we open up our wings to soaring again, we're going to soar to one side, and we're going to soar to the other side, and we're going to bring our arms up. Oh, beautiful. Spread those wings and take them down. This time we're going to lower one side and soar. If you can just bring your elbow down to the ground as we stretch up the side of the body. Or if you need to be a high hand, that's okay too. Whatever's most comfortable. Stretching over and up. And we're going to soar to the other side of the countryside that we can see below us now. We're going to lower onto that elbow if it's comfortable. If not, remain high while we stretch down the side of our body. Beautiful stretching and flying high, soaring those arms nice and wide to the side. We bring ourselves down once more, soaring, head down to the ground and closing our wings behind us. Now you're going to just roll back onto your toes, bring your hands forward to bring yourself into a comfortable squat position. You might be high up on your toes if I come to the side, or you can also be low. See what's the most comfortable for you. And we're just going to fly ourselves out to the sides, and we're going to lift one leg. See if you can balance. Just like the birds, when they lift one foot and then the other. Keep your head out in front, and they see if they can balance and lift their talons. Now, turning to the side so you can see this a little better. From our position, you are just going to lift that knee and stretch it out behind for a quick balance and bring it in and down. And we're going to try again on the other side. We're nicely folded here from our hips. We are picking up the leg, stretching it far behind us, bringing it back in and down. That's a beautiful balance I can see you doing. Well done. Now, coming back down onto our knees, we are going to reach ourselves forward into a nice tabletop position. That means spreading your talons nice and wide, placing them down firmly just underneath your shoulders. We are going to arch our spine now. We're going to roll it up and look underneath, as though looking underneath and up to our tummy buttons. And we're going to stretch through the spine. And as we come through, we're going to breathe out and dip our spine this time so that our tummy's stretching down towards the ground. And in doing that, we're going to push our heart through the arms at the front. Now our crows actually use this beautiful action when they open and close their wings. So imagine that when we are up, you have your wings coming out your spine at the back. And as they close, as you come through to sit up and stretching those wings, as you stretch the spine. And as you come through, lifting the head as you land. We're just going to rock backwards and forwards now and place our weight over our wrists. This is important because we're going to be putting weight through our hands when we come to doing our crow pose. There we go. One more, rocking over those hands and back. And now we're just going to lift our toes up to our bottom. Can you do that one? It's not so hard, this, as long as your knees are comfortable on the mats or on the ground that you are working on. So just lift those toes back and forth. And this is also something we're going to do when we get into our beautiful crow pose, taking flight. There we go, beautiful. And coming and bringing our bottoms down to our heels, placing our heads down. We're just going to take a moment's rest. Stretching those arms out in front. Coming back on up, we're going to tuck those toes. We're going to lift our bottoms up into the air to create that beautiful mountain, high top hill, and imagine that we are going to be flying and we can see that hilltop. We're now going to bring ourselves forward and place our weight again over our hands into a plank position. And we're going to lift up through the body and back up to create our hilltop. Flying over flat land. Now bring our body to a nice flat position, a bit like before a press up. And then back up to the hilltops. And over the flat landscape below. And we're coming to hills. And flat landscape. And hills. Use your tummy to pull yourself up each time. Flat landscape. Pull those tummy muscles and up a hill. That's beautiful work. And bringing ourselves down. We're just going to lower our bodies down between our arms. So we're lying nice and flat. And roll ourselves over onto our backs. Making sure that you're nice and comfortable. Just roll the body gently on the ground there. We ready to move again? Bringing your heels up so that they are close to touching your bottom. You're just going to bring in one knee and pull it into your tummy and stretch out the other leg. That's it. And then you're going to lower that heel, bring the other heel up, stretch down the lower leg and lift the opposite side this time and pull it directly into the chest. Beautiful work. That's it, lower that heel, bring the heels both up and this time bring in both of your legs directly into your chest, just rocking from side to side, pulling those knees in. Lowering one heel again, you're going to take hold of the outside of your foot as you pull up and try and lower it down a little bit off to the side of the body and into what is almost like your underarm area and possibly even past it, but we're aiming for underneath the arms. That's it, beautiful. Okay, and lowering that side. We're going to do the same again on the other side. We're going to lift the foot, capture it with our hand on the outside of the foot, not the inside, on the outside. And we're just going to lower it out to the outside as though aiming for our underarms. just to give the body a nice stretch down this area here at the back of the thigh. Okay, and we do it one more time. This time we're going to do it with both legs. So you lift both legs up, capture on the outsides of both of your feet as you raise the legs up. And this time we're going to pull those knees down towards our underarm area, trying to keep our lower back, this area here, and our bottoms as close onto the ground as we can. And breathe. And now, pulling the knees in, we're just going to rock and roll ourselves up to a standing position. Can you manage? Whoosh! Beautiful work there. We are now going to try to be our crow in crow pose to take flight. So to get ourselves into crow pose, we're going to start in a squat. So you can bring yourself down into a nice high squat on the toes again, or low down onto your heels, whichever feels the most comfortable to you. So your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart as you lower down into your squat. Take your talons nice and wide. Those are going to be placed down in front of you. Notice I'm lining my elbow just over my knee, so I'm onto the arm. If that's possible for you, that's a very good way of starting, because it helps me lift my bum now, lift at the back there, and I can see where my hands are going to land. That's it. So I've got kind of a square to rectangular shape between my toes and my hands. And by placing my hands, I've now lifted up somewhat onto my toes. So what I'm going to aim for is to get my knees, just as I was just practicing, underneath or into my underarm. So I'm aiming for as high up the arm as I can get. So from above the elbow all the way up here to my underarm. This is so my crow is going to caw and take flight. So if my arms are, I'm not going to be bending them outwards. If I am going to bend them, I'm going to be bending them towards my toes, just to make that clear. So I'm lifting up, I'm placing my knees somewhere above the elbow, and I'm aiming really for as high as I can get. And then when I bend my arm now, I'm bending as though I were bending towards my toes, not outways where I'm going to fall down. Okay, so trying knees in, bending arms towards. And I've got a nice imaginary beak here. I'm going to place my beak down as though I was going to be eating some food on the ground, maybe some seeds. And my eyes are going to be looking straight ahead. So watch first and then you can try this. So I'm going to be lifting here and I'm starting to take the weight, and I can feel the weight coming across into my hands. My head is positioned so my beak is down. My vision is looking ahead of me. I'm going to lift one foot and then the other foot to gain some kind of, oh, did you feel that balance? Did you see it? Just to try and get some idea of what it might feel like. That's it, stretch the body, and then you're going to try again, placing yourself into the posture. 1, and then 2, and then if you're feeling really brave, you might be able to lift both feet off and take flight. So you're going to lift 1 foot and 2 feet and lift up those toes and pull them back towards your bottom, just like we practiced earlier. And then come down just as lightly as you went up. Who's feeling brave? We're going to try this. So, standing up, that's it. Placing our feet hip width apart, taking ourselves down into a squat position, either up high on those toes or lowering down on those heels, whichever is most comfortable to you. Taking our talons nice and wide. We're going to place those down directly in front of us. Our knees are going to be making contact with our arm, hopefully from the elbow up. That's it. Place them nice and strong. Make sure that if you're going to be bending those arms, it's comfortable to be bending them down towards those toes, which might mean taking those knees a bit wider to begin with. Okay, ready? You can do this. Have faith. You're going to manage it okay. Lifting up, Putting your knees into your underarms, leaning forwards. If you can only go this far, well done. You're learning. It's a place to begin. And then if you would like to try taking up one foot, then the other foot, if you just manage that, well done. You're doing really well. And if you want to really try and test your balance, lift both just for a moment even, and take flight and land. Now, crow pose can often seem like one of those postures you may never be able to manage. But you know what? There was a time when even I couldn't do it. And now it's really quite a simple arm balance for me. It takes a lot of time, a few falls. I will admit, I've taken a few in my time, but you will come through them. And there we have our beautiful crow posture. Now, crows are very intelligent, adaptable animals. Please don't believe all of the myths and folklore that state they bring bad luck. They don't. In many other cultures, they are also considered to bring good luck. And go outdoors, see if you can spot their beautiful dark wings against the winter skies, and consider listening out for their crow call, which tends to be quite distinctive, and enjoy the beautiful bird wildlife that we have here in the UK. Now, take a moment, enjoy your practicing of the crow pose, and when you've had enough, bring yourself down and into a comfortable lying position with your arms out and down beside your body or on your belly, whichever's comfortable. Just again, draw your knees in, rock your spine along there at the bottom against the ground or the floor or your mat. Take your heels down, lower them out, and take a deep breath in and sigh it out. One more. As we begin that gentle relaxation process in the body. That was quite an amazing session where you've built yourself up to learning how to do a crow posture, a wonderful arm balance where we can learn to face some of our fears and take flight. As part of our cooling down, we are going to now take our mind around the body. And we are going to squeeze and tense some areas and then relax. I want you to first take your mind to your feet and your toes. And I want you just to scrunch those toes as hard as you can and stretch those toes and relax. Take your mind now to the lower leg, to the calves. I want you to tense those muscles, tense and the knee, and relax. Moving further up that leg, think about the hamstrings and your thigh muscles that lead into the buttocks and the hips. Tense those muscles and relax. Think into your core. We've worked this area into your stomach, into your body. You're just going to tense those muscles in the tummy and relax. Now I want to think into the chest area, the shoulders, the shoulder blades in the back. We're just going to think about tensing all of that upper body area and relaxing. Take your mind now to your fingertips and through to your hands. You're going to ball them up nice and tight and squeeze. Think about the wrist and relax. Now to your arms, as you think about your forearms, your elbows, and your upper arms. You're going to squeeze those muscles tight and relax. Think now to your jaw and your neck. You're going to grit your teeth, tense your neck, and relax. Think now to your eyebrows and your forehead and your scalp. You're going to scrunch up your face and relax. If you would like just to close your eyes for a moment, you can do. And if you want to keep your eyes open, that's all right too. We're just going to take a moment now to feel the warmth and the relaxation through the body. Take a moment, notice, has every area of the body relaxed? Do you need to squeeze and release any part of the body again for further release, for further relaxation? Taking a nice deep breath in. As we let the oxygen flood through the body, and as we breathe anything we no longer need back out. And again. And one last time. If you had your eyes closed, slowly bring them open once more. Draw your heels to your bottom and your knees then into your chest. And bring yourselves up now to a comfortable seated position. I hope that you've enjoyed today's session, considering the crow and the crow posture. Remember, if you didn't take flight, you simply have to practice and make sure that you do your yoga every day, and before you know it, you'll be flying along in crow pose. Remember, always be kind to yourselves. It doesn't matter if you only manage to get to a preparation stage. Things with yoga can take time, and also what you can do on one day, you may find that you can't manage on the next day or even later in the day. So don't be too hard on yourselves. Always practice with kindness from your heart. And remember, we're all on our own journeys. I simply want to congratulate you for making it through the session and for having a go, because that's the most important thing. So I look forward to seeing you again and for future sessions. Until then, take care. Bye from Weeby Kids.